Cindy Harrison here, and I want to show you how to do an easy blended background. And the best brush to do it with is a Moon Filbert or a large filbert brush. This was sealed and first coated with a light coat of Snow White. It's very thin, and I'm going to take my brush, dip it in the water, clean water, and I'm going to just go over the area with clean water, wetting it down, dampening it. It's not puddles of water that if you lift it off the surface that it would drip down. It's just going to be damp. And depending on your atmosphere, you might have to go over it probably 3 times to make sure it doesn't dry out while you're picking up paint and moving the paint across the surface. And this is just a birch surface, plain birch surface, sealed and primed with a thin coat of Snow White. Now that I have that done, I'm going to go pick up some aloe, which is one of the new colors that came out, and I'll slip slap it in the middle of my piece and kind of bring it out to the out edge. And I'm going to, with the dirty brush, pick up some Snow White and add that in the middle and work that to the outer edge. I kind of twist my brush around so that most of the darker color is on the outside edge. Now if you're happy with how light that is, then leave it and go on to the Plantation Pine. If not, you can go back in and add more white and lighten that up a little bit more. Crisscross to soften it as you get towards the outer edge. Pick up on your dirty brush again on the aloe, and I'm going to walk it on the outside edge a little bit towards that white, all the way around. Trying not to make too many straight edges. Slip slap, slip slap, slip slap, all the way around, keeping the light side of the brush towards the center. Now I'm going to go and wipe the brush off on a paper towel and pick up some Plantation Pine and start on the outside corner and slip slap it towards the inside edge, or inside, there's no edge. If it starts to pull, go in and touch just a corner of your paintbrush in the water and then tap it on the paper towel. I'm going to start turning this around so I can work it better. You don't want a lot of water, because if you do, then you're going to have start lifting the paint that you put on. And really holding it is better than just letting it float around on the table. And I'm going to bring it down this edge here. Back and forth, and a little crisscrossing towards the center. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to repeat it again. Now that that's dry, pick up some of that white, work that in the center, wipe the brush off on paper towel, pick up some of the aloe and bring it around. And I'm going to go into the white because I don't want it to be stark white in there. I just want it to be a lighter shade of green. Straight aloe. Pick up more aloe as you get to the outer edges. And as you get even further out to the edges, I messed up some of my white, so I'm going to just bring some white back in. Now, wipe my brush off and start picking up the plantation pine. Start on the outer edge and bring it in towards the aloe. If it doesn't show up, add a little bit more. I'll wash my brush out a little bit, pick up some more plantation pine. And bring it around. Soften it. Go in, go out, go in, go out. And then lastly, as it starts to drag, just step aside and let it be. So there you have a blended background. You can dry it again. You can go back and add more of the plantation pine if you want. Let's dry it and see what happens when I add more plantation pine. Start with a clean brush. And now I'm going to pick up the plantation pine on half of my brush and just come over here and start playing with a side load kind of wash of color. Kind of glazing it. And let's do it on this side. Because I have a lot of water in my brush still, so I can kind of do that washy glaze until it kind of fades away. If you have any makeup lines, just go back over it with some clean water. Wash your brush out with some clean water and just kind of make sure you get most of that water out. Soften those areas. And if you have a large mop brush, that'll work too. So let that dry and then we can trace our pattern on and start base coating.